Welcome to the Valley Christian Conservatory online devotions. We all need an encouraging word and inspiration to be more like Jesus. After watching this video, take some time to reflect on what was meaningful to you and any application of what you've learned. Then share your thoughts in the forum. Write at least 3 sentences and allow others to be uplifted by your comments. May the people sharing and the message they bring touch your spirit and strengthen your heart. Thank you for taking the time to meet today and to be able to let us know a little bit more about you and some spiritual encouragement.
My pleasure. I love to do this.
Let me start by just asking, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Joel, and I was a police officer with the city of San Jose for 30 years. My greatest pleasure of being with the police department was riding a motorcycle every day,
Nice.
greeting the public. Not always in a real good way, but,
Yeah.
I sign here,
Yeah.
just to give you a reminder of what you were doing. But I started my career in 1980, and I'm still working in that kind of capacity. 30 years with the PD, and now going on year number 17 here at Valley.
Wow.
If you had asked me that years ago, I would have never thought that in a million years. Just crazy how it came to that. In addition to being a police officer, I've been a musician most of my life. I started playing guitar when I was about 13. Singing with my cousins at church, because we all grew up in church singing, all of us. And we started a little church band, and we started playing. I went to a conservatory of music when I was 13 years old in Texas. And that was with the Stamps Brothers Quartet. And so we were these 4 little kids, singing. There was a lot of older kids. There was some amazing musicians, but there was a guy playing bass. And I went, what's that? So I called my mom and I said, hey, I can get some lessons here, bass, it's an extra $35 or whatever it was at the time. She said, sure, go ahead. The bass player, Mylon Lefebvre, he was the bass player for Elvis before the Stamps and, studio musicians and stuff. And so I learned to play bass back then, and that started my career. I was a musician for years. I played for 20 years in a band here called Sage, R&B, Chicago, Earth, Wind and Fire, Santana.
Oh, it sounded great.
We just, Earth, Wind and Fire, I just love it. With my cousin who used to work here, Sam Rios, we both applied for San Jose PD in 1980. I ended up getting selected. He didn't. And my career at San Jose was great. I had recruiting. I was a training officer. I worked at the academy, but my greatest experience was riding the motorcycle.
Oh, that sounds fun.
The motorcycle field was special operations. I've been involved in escorts for 5 presidents.
Whoa.
I've been this close to 3 presidents.
Wow.
And a conversation, shaking hands with Al Gore, who was the vice president of the United States. And so you never think in your career you're going to be able to even get close to a sitting president.
Right.
But I was close to 5 of them.
Wow.
I was escorting them. I was doing the motorcycle duty, special operations. It was great.
That's amazing.
But where was my faith in all of that? I started in church. I was playing in church. I started venturing outside of church. And in 1993, I was working at Guitar Showcase as a side gig.
What?
And one of the guys there was calling me. He said, hey, Joel, he says, we need a bass player at this church that we're starting called Cornerstone Community Church. And I went, this is a good time. So I went there to go play. We had to set up the church every morning, Sunday morning, at the theaters on Almaden. And we always knew it was getting time for church to end because we could smell the popcorn cooking. And our offertory plates were popcorn cups. So in doing that, that started to relaunch my faith again and my walk with God, because that was shallow. You know, from the time that I was a new rookie, getting back to my faith and raising two boys, one who was older, but my younger one was going to a public school, and it just wasn't working. And so I made the decision, and I told him, I said, we need to look at Valley Christian Schools.
Nice.
He was in 8th grade. And
Good.
that honestly was one of the best decisions I made in coming here. But that was in 1999, 2000. Then as I was working as the motorcycle duty, the school approached me to ask them for help on graduations and football games. In 2007, there was a shooting at Virginia Tech. And Dr. Daugherty and the board asked me at that time, since I was helping out, if I would be willing to come work at the school. And I thought that might be a good place to go after I retired. I was getting close to retiring. I was at that age. That's funny because I think I was 52 when that happened.
Right.
And I'm still here.
Yeah, that's great.
But God had a different plan. And my association with Valley and helping out with traffic and now leading the security department was planned. We just didn't know it.
Right.
And in 2011, I developed throat cancer.
Wow. And
I went through chemo and radiation. A lot of glue, but I still have my hair. But you know, my journey when that happened, I remember vividly. Before finding out that I had cancer, I was here at the school. I was walking around, and I spent 30 years at the police department. I knew that I wanted to be a cop because I wanted to ride the motorcycle.
Nice.
But I never realized until that moment hit me when I was walking here one day that, wait a minute, my preparation of being a police officer for 30 years wasn't because of that. It was because God had a plan for me to be here at Valley Christian at the time when the school needed it the most. In this era of school shootings, Virginia Tech, Uvalde, Sandy Hook, the list goes on. And we just had another school shooting today in Minnesota.
Oh my gosh.
And so Dr. D and the board had asked me to come on. And in 2009, I became a full-time employee here. In 2011, I realized that God had put this all in motion in 1980 when I started on the police department. You never know what your plan and what God has planned for your life until that moment you realize, oh, this is what he had in mind for me the whole time.
Right.
This is why God brought me from here to here. This is why I did this. And that awesome realization that you were living the plan that God intended for you to do makes coming here every day worthwhile.
How fulfilling. Yeah.
It is stressful. I'm always on guard when I get here. I have a team of 10 contract officers, 4 armed guards, including myself, support officers. We handle all of the traffic, the school safety, and fleet operations. Wow. And that job responsibility has grown. But what grew with it was the realization that God said, here's why I want you to be here. This is your faith. You know it well. Live it. This is why I brought you. Wow. I'm here, God.
His design.
I'm here. you never know. I for my life, I wanted to be a professional gigging musician.
Right.
That's what I wanted to do. And God had other things in mind and brought me through many changes in my life. Um, Married, I've got beautiful, stepkids, regular kids. I've got 4 grandkids.
Wow.
We have a family dinner as 12 of us, just for a regular family dinner. The insight for me is to know that what you're doing may not be exactly what God has planned for you, because I never knew as my career as a police officer was going to lead me here.
Mm-hmm.
Until you open your eyes and you look and you say, wow, this is what he had in mind. And I said that earlier while we were talking, but that's the insight that I want to really emphasize, is that you have to be willing to open up your eyes and look, and maybe not what you want to do, but here's what God had planned for you to do.